Let's take a look at how we would graph inequalities. Now, this video is not intended to learn how to graph an equation. You can look at some of my other videos on how to do that. What we really want to look at is what an inequality graph is going to look like compared to an equation graph. So in this case, if we only have one variable, x is greater than -4, that's a very simple number line where we just have this -4, it's greater than, so we've got an open point there, and we're just everything greater than -4, and that's very simple. But what do you do when you have two variables? We're going to graph this as if it were an equation. So in this case, we've got a linear equation, and I've got these already set up in a very easy to graph form just so I can show you what we're doing here. But in this case, we have the point 0, 1. This is y equals mx plus b, where b is our y-intercept. We've got our slope is 2 over 1. And so we'll go up 2 and over 1. And so our graph is going to, or our line's going to go just like this. But because we're just less than here, we're going to do a dotted line, just like we did an open point here. We've got a dotted line, and we want to check then to see in an inequality, which side of this line are we going to shade in? Now, the easiest way to do that is to pick a point that's just very easy to figure out. And if it's possible, if 0, 0 does not fall on my line, I always take 0, 0 just because it's the easiest to check. So in this case, we're going to plug a 0 in for my x and y, and we're just going to get, is 0 less than 1? Well, it is. So if 0, 0 works, that means everything on this side of the line is going to work, and so we would shade everything this direction. Now, if we had, you'll notice this is the exact same equation, except this time we have less than or equal to, and if that's the case, then rather than having this dotted line, we would have a straight line, even though my line's not really all that straight. Now, what if you have a parabola? So in this case, we have a parabola with a vertex at 3, 2. So there's my vertex. It's opening up, and because of this 3, it's actually very steep. So it's going to look something like that. Now, that's not exact, but that's okay. Now, we've got just less than. It's not less than or equal to, so let's make this a dotted line. It's nice to have whiteboards for that purpose. And then again, 0, 0 does not fall on that line, or that doesn't fall anywhere on the graph. So let's just plug a 0 in here. So we have 0 is less than, now if we have 0 minus 3, that gives us a -3. So we have 3 times -3 squared plus 2. Well, -3 squared is 9. So 3 times 9 plus 2. Well, we can already tell we're going to have a pretty good size. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 2 is 29. 0 is not greater than that. So that means we're going to be looking at, if 0, 0 doesn't work, that means nothing on the outside of this is going to work. And so we're going to shade everything inside of that parabola. So once you pick the point, if the point works, you're going to shade everything that, whether inside or outside of that graph, on that point. If it doesn't work, then in this case, we're going to shade everything that's within the parabola. Same here. If it works for one point on the side of the graph, it's going to work for all the points on that side of the graph. Now, if you're combining, let's say we have both of these that are together, and we say it has to fit both of these. So let's put this line in here as if we graphed it. Let me use another color so it's a little easier to see. So we shaded here on the graph. So if we have, let's say it has to be fit this and this, then really, we'll use one more color. Our solution for both of those would be just this little section here. inside of the graph. So it's actually very easy to figure out what's happening with inequalities as long as you know how to graph the equation itself. And if you're not sure how to do that, go look at some of my other videos on how to graph. We just need to decide where we're going to shade when we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, because we're going to have a large set of numbers that are going to fit, large set of points that are going to fit each equation. So hopefully that helps you. Please like and subscribe, pass this information on to anyone else that you think it might help, and thanks for watching.